Good afternoon. This is my paper. It's in regards to the First Amendment right and how First Amendment right would have internet limitations on spam, pornography, and scareware. Um, my paper is basically in general a general concept on how the First Amendment right would be violated on both sides. Either if you're pro spam or con spam or pro pornography or con pornography or con scareware or pro scareware, how that affects your First Amendment right, and is it ethical? Um, is it ethical for your First Amendment right to be violated, either on the user level or on the corporate level? Someone who's promoting any of the three. Next slide. First Amendment right. First Amendment right. How a First Amendment right limitations apply to spam, pornography, and scareware. Okay, so let me define the First Amendment right, and let me give you a short definition. It's not the one we have in the Constitution, but it's one of that actually gives a summary of what it is. Freedom of speech, press, and assembly. That's basically our First Amendment right. This gives us the right to promote anything, any press, any paper, and have kind of like any kind of religion or assembly. Maybe it has to be assembly specific religion, or it can be any kind of meaning or that, and just have your opinion in general. Okay, so let me define spam, and we'll get into it a little more deep and more what exactly it is. Spam. Advertising method to send unsolicited bulk messages. So basically, this is just when you receive a large amount of mail from a company that's basically pushing out these bulk messages through phone or through email or in some kind of networkable or social networks, um, and just a bulk of information to users. And okay, and then scareware is malware designed to trick victims into purchasing and downloading users' dangerous software. I guess we can give an example of this. Would be let me see. Some those softwares that you get that says that FBI. There's one running around. This is FBI that you have. It has your IP address and everything. And then the only way you can get rid of that screenshot is if you pay some money. That's an example of scareware. It's designed to scare you. Okay, and then pornography is it's a visual display of sexual organs or activity, and let's underline the word sexual organ. Um, Pornography is very clearly explained by showing any kind of genitalia and having the actual sexual activity. That's the way pornography is defined. Okay, so let's start. Then we have if you're pro spam. Okay, if you're pro spam, then you might be on a corporate kind of level, and then you might be pushing kind of an advertisement solicit bulk messages through email, phone, or social network to increase chance of exposure. It's of out of 100, you might hit one kind of theory. This idea is basically is that you get it's your margin of error is pretty high, but your chances of exposure are also pretty high. And then just getting your information across a large amount of people. The idea, the theory is that you eventually get some kind of feedback, either positive or negative, but you'll get some kind of feedback. If you're con spam, then you're usually at the user level. Users receive unsolicited amount of messages, becoming cumbersome and affecting task completion. Don't know if you have received a lot of just spam through email from companies offering amazing prices, just that kind in general. That's usually if you're con spam, you're not really interested in this unsolicited information or emails or some kind of mail through phone or social networks. The question here is, should spam be allowed to filter and propagate through the internet? Is it ethical to invade personal email, phone, or social networks? This is I guess this question is based on the user level, and I guess the other question would be: is it right for the First Amendment right to give you limitations on what you're trying to promote? Is it right for them to actually give you boundaries, and how far those boundaries are going to go? Okay, next slide. Um, let's talk about a little bit about scareware. Scareware is software that is populated to increase chance of exposure for the software. The same kind of concept of 1 out of 100 is the same thing. This idea. The only thing is that users' data is obtained for advertising purposes, and user is tricked to buying useless software. Software makes money from transactions. Basically, what they're trying to push is that software to sell to the user, and basically it's useless because it doesn't do anything. A lot of times these like viruses, antiviruses that they're saying that they're selling protection, but really it does the opposite of what an antivirus does. The question here is that is it ethical to allow scareware to violate users throughout the internet? That's on the user basis, and then is it ethical for the companies to have a limitation of how much they can promote or not through the internet. Next slide. Okay, so this is kind of a taboo question. Pro-pornography and how this is affected through our First Amendment right. Well, if you're pro-pornography, you might consider that economic contribution is pretty large. Pornography accounts for 13.3 billion of the U.S. revenue. That's a big chunk of change from the U.S. economy. Porn contributes 30% of the U.S. economy. And Northwestern University professor D. Amato claims that rape incidents have decreased 27% in states with high internet access, and it was left out here that said high internet access that promotes but has no limitation on pornography. And this is a pro kind of statement to pornography. Just a concept that he's basically saying that the less limitations you have on pornography, the better it is for any kind of rape incidents. That's a concept that he has as professor from Northwestern University, Professor D. Amato. It would be great to kind of get his thoughts on this. Another pro pornography would be emotional physical contribution. People who use porno release their sexual intention. 3 out of 5 people agree using porno to learn new ideas and concepts, giving a panoramic view of the world's sexual possibilities. I guess what this means is that a lot of people use porno to experiment and just try new ideas. Porno also allows women to experience sexual alternatives and satisfying sexual curiosity. Yeah. I guess this is a taboo question or a taboo statement. Basically, just different concepts that people think that women who sleep around, who have kind of a sexual appetite, are whores or some kind of low-level kind of sexual object, or just not a classy woman. Then this is if you're pro-pornography, this is a good way to use to experiment or experience sexual alternatives and satisfying sexual curiosity in general. Next slide. So if you're con pornography, then one of the things that if you were or are con pornography, then one of the factors is that addiction to pornography is a big cause and marriage dysfunction. And addiction to pornography is usually more found or tendencies in males and females. Porno users are complaining of the inability to be turned on by their real partners. Usually in porno, it's being watched by a fantasy, and for fantasies that are being fulfilled through the pornography. And in many cases, marriages are having problems with this because their partners are feeling that they're not being satisfied because they're still stuck on the fantasy land. Also, it's decreased by marital satisfaction, and marital intimacy is large cause for marriage couples to separate, leading to divorce. Yeah, this porno addiction has a big percentage, and and divorce, leading to divorce. Men and women have reported feeling betrayed, hurt, and abandonment, leading to loss of trust towards each other. So we have this issue with um, men or women are feeling they're not satisfying their partners, and they feel they're being left alone or just put to the side, and having and pornography being first choice. And then the last thing here is decrease of social moral standards. That if you're con pornography. Okay, so the question here is it ethical to allow pornography to be limitless because of the First Amendment right? How will this affect economic contribution? Does having no boundaries affect social moral standards in regards to couples, young adults, and children? Is it ethical to say pornography degrades women to solely a sexual object? So, in general, our questions are how our First Amendment right affects spam, scareware, or pornography in regards to the user level or the actual corporate level who is promoting it, and is it ethical for the First Amendment right to be violated, and on either end, vice versa, and that's basically what my paper is about. Thank you.